There are two types of duty that you will fulfill in your role as an RA. They are phone duty and desk duty. Phone duty is a way to offer residents around-the-clock assistance. The community director on call assists residents during the day on the weekends. But outside of the business hours, phone duty becomes the responsibility of the RA on call. There is one RA on call for each residence hall every day of the week. This will be divided up evenly between you and your coworkers and on a day-to-day basis. If it is your turn to be on phone duty on a regular weekday, this means 5 p.m. you will need to go to the duty room and retrieve the phone from where it is charging. Once you have the phone, go to the phone's contacts and find the contact unforward. Call this number and let it ring until the phone automatically hangs up. Once the call ends itself, that means all calls made to the RA duty phone will no longer be forwarded to the CD on call. Now that the duty phone is in your possession, you are not allowed to leave campus until the next day. You may still go anywhere on campus for the next few hours, but just be prepared to return to your residence hall if you get a call. If you have a commitment after 5 that you should not be able to leave on such short notice, a class for example, you can see if anyone on your staff will be willing to hold the phone for you until you get back. However, these situations can be avoided if you know your availability when you and your staff plan the duty schedule together. If it is after 8 p.m. and you are the RA on call for that day, you should no longer be anywhere on campus except for your residence hall. You will be required to do rounds of the residence hall after 8 p.m., meaning you walk through the hall and make sure nothing out of the ordinary is happening. At the end of your round, you need to stop by the front desk where the RA on desk duty is and report any issues you find in the duty log. If something requires more immediate attention, contact the CD on call. The amount of rounds you have to do during the night differs from hall to hall, so look to your community director for those details. The most common calls you will receive on the duty phone will be residents asking to check out supplies from the duty room. However, there will be occasions when residents call for other reasons, such as room lockouts, overnight guest passes, and sometimes emergencies. If you ever have concerns about responding to a call alone, you can always call a coworker to accompany you or call the CD on call for assistance. On a normal weekday, you will hold the phone and respond to any calls you get from 5 p.m. until the next morning. On your way out the door to class, just take the duty phone back to the duty room, plug in the charger, and call the number under forward contact. The next RA on call will pick up the phone at 5 p.m. the next day. If you are scheduled for phone duty on the weekend, the process is only slightly different. Weekend phone duty lasts a full 24 hours, so instead of putting the phone back in the duty room, you will simply pass the phone to the other RA that's on weekend duty with you at 5 p.m. the next day. Don't worry, each RA only has a few weekends during the semester that they are on call and are required to stay on campus. Desk duty works similarly to phone duty in that it is a daily rotating shift that will be divided up evenly among you and your coworkers. Desk duty shifts occasionally start at 8 p.m., but a round of the building must be done beforehand, so allow enough time before the 8 p.m. mark to walk through the residence hall. At the end of your round, make sure you stop by the duty room and get the duty box to take with you to the desk. When you get to the desk, you will need to get the duty binder out of the duty box and fill out that day's duty log. Then proceed to leave the duty binder and the rest of the contents of the duty box out on the desk so that it is ready when you need it during the shift. There's a lot of useful information in the duty binder, but the main things you will use it for are to get student signatures if they lose or forget their student ID, signing in visitors, or filling out overnight guest forms. Every time a student comes into the residence hall, it is your responsibility to make sure you see their one card with an up-to-date residence sticker on it before they gain access to the building. The ultimate purpose of desk duty is to ensure the safety of the residents in the building by screening who comes and goes. It is for this reason that it is important you do not have any excessive distractions at the desk by inviting a group of friends to join you or by using headphones. If a student enters the building and says they forgot or lost their ID, simply have them sign the appropriate form in front of the duty binder mentioned previously. If you are concerned they are not a student, you should check for their name on the roster. If a student has a visitor come in with them to the residence hall after 8 p.m., you will need to have them fill out the visitor section of the duty log sheet. You will also take a valid ID from them, which you can keep in a card container that's inside the duty box until they are ready to leave. If the visitor is planning to stay overnight, you will need to fill out a separate form in the back of the duty binder with information from their driver's license. Once the form is filled out and both the guest and host have signed it, you give them back their license and rip off the top sheet and give it to the guest to use as a temporary one card. Instruct them to keep the pass with them at all times and take it to the campus police station for a parking pass. Your desk duty shift will end at midnight, at which point a night assistant will show up and take your place for the early hours of the morning. As soon as the NA gets there and completes their round, you are officially done with your desk duty for the night.